Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my booktube channel, Life Worth Reading. I haven't seen you in a long time. The last time that I filmed a video was, or more, the last time that I published a video was 2 months ago, or almost 3 months ago now, which is honestly kind of embarrassing. But like I mentioned in a lot of my videos before my little disappearance, I was working, right? So I worked a part-time job and it kind of like threw my whole schedule out of the window. I stopped reading as much as I did before. I stopped putting out videos, I stopped filming videos, and thankfully I have left that job. I worked for the first 2 weeks of August, and then I went on vacation for the last 2 weeks of August, which I've just come back from yesterday, which was really nice. I stayed in my country, but I went to the south of Portugal, to the beaches, and it was incredible. And I just had the most relaxing 2 weeks possible. And I thought about filming a video there, but I just wanted to have a fresh start here on this channel now, because September is coming and it feels like an era for productivity. And so I wanted to rest more from YouTube from those 2 weeks so that I could come back now and do my best to honestly just pick up my reading year again and pick up my content, because this year has been miserable for me. In terms of content wise, reading wise, it's just been a mess, right? So we're going to talk about in this video. This is going to be like an end of summer reset vlog. I'm going to talk about the books that I've been reading. I'm going to open up a package because unfortunately I bought more books. And I am going to talk about another trip that I have coming up, which is so exciting. And I'm going to try to figure out what books I'm taking to that trip. But first, let's talk about how my reading year has been going. Like I said, this year has been miserable reading-wise, like quantity-wise. I guess a little bit quality-wise. I have my reading journal here, where I keep tab of all the books that I read, the rating that I give them, my DNFs, all of that. So we're just going to go through it. Honestly, I had so many expectations for 2023 reading wise, because actually 2022 was a really great reading year for me. I read something like 80 or 83 books, which was amazing by my standard, of course. And I thought, I was so delusional. Like, I thought putting my Goodreads goal at 100 books is going to be so doable. I'm going to be reading so much in 2023. It turns out I was just being delulu, because that did not happen. I have not been reading as much as I wanted to. So far this year, as of right now, I have read 31 books. Listen, I literally lowered my Goodreads goal to 75 because I was so embarrassed, and I'm still like 17 or 18 books behind. It's laughable at this point, what I put myself through, like the embarrassment, the sheer humiliation of going into my Goodreads, and every single time, no matter how many books I've been reading, it just says that I'm 17 or 18 books behind schedule. So watch me try to turn this around, but I really highly doubt that, honestly. But okay, so far I've read 31 books, and honestly, of those 31s, I've DNF'd 5. Because, and I counted them because I'm going to tell you the 5 books that I DNF'd so far. I DNF'd The Echo Chamber by John Boyne in January, but I counted that because I read 60% of it, and I DNF'd it because it was wildly transphobic, like horrifyingly so. Then I read Schmutz by, I think the author's name is Felicia something, and I counted that because I DNF'd it at 63%. Then I also DNF'd Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, because it was very, very boring, and I DNF'd it at 75%. And then I DNF'd Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which I probably shouldn't have counted that because I DNF'd it like 50 pages because it was also very cringy. And then I also DNF'd The Death of Jane Lawrence in July at 230 pages in. So as you can see, I'm very much behind on my reading year, and it's not going great for me. It's not being the fantastic year that I was hoping for when I put myself at 100 books to read. But without counting that, we are going to also check my list of the 12 books that I wanted to read in 2023 we're going to check the progress. I haven't looked at this list yet, but I can already tell that it's going to be really embarrassing. So let's check it out. I have it written down. I don't want to see my whole video. I really don't want to look at my video. So I have it written down. I haven't looked at it, but I just know that this is going to be really embarrassing. You can see here that I have the 12 books that I wanted to read this year. Okay. I'm going to go get every single book on this list that I have physically, and I'm going to hold it up so we can see what books I still have to read before the end of the year. Okay, so let's talk about it. The first book that I had, like I read, was Sorcery of Thorns by Michael Rogerson, which I DNF'd, horrifyingly so. Then the second book that I have on this list is Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead, and I do want to read this, but it's a little bit chunky. Like, I did not expect how chunky this was when I bought it. It's almost 700 pages, and I just haven't had like the mental capacity to read this one yet, but I really, really want to. Then I have Just Kids by Patti Smith, which was gifted to me by my friend Tara, which I'm so thankful for. She gifted me this for my birthday in December, so it hasn't been like an obscene long amount of time, but I am very excited to read this one, and I'm so thankful. I'm going to read it this year for sure. And then I have Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, which I don't own physically yet, but I really want to get to. And then I have Notes on an Execution by Diana. I wrote Diana K, and now I don't know the full name, but I'm going to put the picture somewhere so you can see the author's name. Then I have The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman, which I have plans to get from my library because it's there, and that's where I've read most of them. It's translated, but it's fine. I don't really mind. Then I have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I honestly don't know if I want to read this trilogy or not. It's on the list now, but like as I think about it, I'm like, do I want to read a young adult mystery trilogy? I don't know. But at least the first one I feel like I need to get to, right? Because I wrote it down. And then I have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which I do also want to get to. And I will eventually. So this is one. And then I have Blood Marked by Tracy Dion, but honestly, I want to buy a Legendborn physically, and I want to reread it because it's been a long time since I've read Legendborn, and I read it on I think I read it on SCRIBD, so I don't quite remember it as well. I really want to get a physical copy before I move on to Blood Marked. Then I have a book called Long Division by Casey Lehman, which was a book that I saw on SCRIBD and I thought was super interesting, and I just wanted to have like an unknown book on this list to push me to read new authors and to read not only just hyped books. Then I have We Spread by Ian Reid. And finally, I have Honey and Spice by Balu Babalola, which I really want to read because I also wanted to read Love in Color by this author, and I still haven't. So out of the 12 books, I have read one, which I DNF'd. It is not going well for me. Like, 2023 is not going well for me. But here I have the 3 books that I own from that list, like physically, and then the other ones I'll just see if I buy, if I read on SCRIBD, if I read on my Kindle. I'll figure it out as we go. Now let's move on to the segment where I talk about the books that I have been reading, right, since I've last spoken to you. I honestly cannot remember if I've spoken about this. I think I have, but I read The Fifth Season and The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. I read the first one in June and the second one in July, I think, and I really, really liked it. I gave The Fifth Season 5 stars, and then The Obelisk Gate was a little bit of a downgrade in my opinion. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite. I think it was really drawn out. The action didn't really speak to me, but I am very excited about the third one. I got both of them from the library. I've obviously given them back already, and I am excited to read Stone Sky. That's it, but I don't know when, because I'm not really in the mood for a dense fantasy right now, and I don't own it physically, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to that. But I really, really enjoy it, and I'm excited to continue on with the trilogy and see how it all wraps up, because I honestly have no idea how it's going to end. Then I read 2 Portuguese books from my library, which I don't have physically with me because I've already given them back. And one of them was E Se Eu Morrer Amanhã, the Filipa Fonseca Silva, and it's about like an 80-year-old woman that has like a house fire and is put out of her house. It sounds like it's sad, but it's really not. It's like a very humorous book. And so she has to go live with her daughter, and they discover that the grandma, like the mother, has a very active sexual life and has a lot of sexual partners, and they're very shook by this information. And it's just about like women's sexuality and how being old does not mean that you do not desire other people. And it's about all those things. It's very humorous, it's very light, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. There were some things that you could see like they were being written by like a slightly older woman, like criticizing the openness of sexuality in our generation, I guess. But without those commentaries, it's a very interesting book that I really enjoyed. And then I also read Bairro dos Cruzes de Susana Marvelho, and this is about just like a neighborhood and like intergenerational drama in a family, and it was okay. I give it like 3.5. Not my favorite. Very dramatic, very like telenovela like, but not in the best way, like very cliche, I would say. Then I read this book, which is called Luanda Lisboa Paris, and this is by Jamilia Pereira de Almeida, and this is a book about a father and son that moved to Lisbon from Angola and on a medical leave because the son needs to do surgery on his foot because he has like a very weak and deformed heel. And it's just about them. It's quite a sad book. Like I didn't tear up because I don't cry at books, but this like got me. It made me feel very sad. It was a very unique perspective on an issue that I don't know a lot about experiences that I have never gone through, and it was just a very interesting account of pain and suffering and moving to another country that does not welcome you as it should. So if you're Portuguese, I highly recommend it. I don't think this is translated, that's why I'm saying it. But it was sad. Like, get ready for sad stuff. Then I read a book that I bet a lot of you would not be expecting. I read Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, which is my first Sally Rooney book. I haven't read Normal People. I haven't read Conversation with Friends. I don't know if I'm going to, honestly. But I read Beautiful World, Where Are You? I have this book. I bought it for a video that I never did. And so I just thought, okay, this seems kind of like a summary book, I guess. I'm going to bring it out to the beach. I'm going to try and read it. And I actually ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought. I ended up giving it like a 3.5, like almost a 4. It was very enjoyable. It's about these 4 characters. 2 of them are best friends, and one of them is like a childhood best friend of both of the girls, and then another is just a character that another man that one of the characters meets. So there were like 4 of them, like boy girl, and you just see their interpersonal relationships, how they worry about the state of the world. Some parts of it were a little bit like too theoretical in my opinion. Like the girls with the best friends would send letters to each other, like talking about economy and history, and it was just like a little bit unrealistic. Like, are you really going to write about that? But it was entertaining all the matter, and I really enjoyed the message, like the overall message of it's okay to enjoy your life even if the world is crumbling apart, and it's great to find beauty in small things and in our relationships with other people and in the sun shining each morning. Like, it's okay to try to be happy when the world is falling apart. So I really appreciated the message. The writing style, not my favorite, but I also didn't completely hate it, which I didn't expect. And I was pleasantly surprised. So there's my review for Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. And finally, also on vacation, I read Assembly by Natasha Brown. And this is the translated version. And this book is kind of like thoughts and ellipses about a Black British woman that works in the financial district, and she works like in very high up in a company, but they always tell her that she only works as high up as she does because they need like diversity points, and they need diverse people to take those kind of leadership roles, so she doesn't feel like she deserves where she is. And there's a lot of microaggressions within this financial world. And I think overall, if I were to give it a rating, I guess it would be like a 3, because I feel like I would have really benefited from reading the original one. Not that this translation wasn't done well, but I feel like the being in her head, in this character's head, and just reading like ellipses, like it wasn't like a continued novel. It was just thoughts, memories, happenings in the present, happenings in the past. And it just, I think I would have benefited from reading the original version. I didn't really connect with the writing, and I think it was because it was translated. So I think I would like to give it a try, because it's quite short. It's like 115 pages. So I would like to give it a try again in the original version to see what I think. But it just felt a little bit naked and a little bit incomplete in my opinion. But it was a great read, and I bet the original one is even better. Okay, now finally we are going to move on to the one that I'm reading right now, which is The Sinister Mystery of the Memorizing Girl by Theodore Augustus. It's part of the Athena Club Adventures, which is the Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter books. And I am quite enjoying this book. I bought it earlier this year to finish out the trilogy. I don't own the second one physically, and I'm desperately trying to get it, but it's like sold out everywhere for months. I can't find it anywhere, which is stressful. But I am currently 350 pages in. I have a little bit less than 100 pages to go, and I am really enjoying it. I obviously can't speak a lot of what's happening in this book if you haven't read the other two, but I will say that I love this cast of characters. I love their found family. I love the adventures, the writing. They are so cute. Like, this group of girls, they just have my heart. I love this found family. I love this book. I don't think that the plot is nearly as good as the first one. I think like the first one had a like really solid mystery and a really solid plot. This one is a little bit more out there. But just because I love these characters and the writing so much, I am enjoying it a lot. It's like a 4.5 at the moment, and I can't wait to read this last 100 pages and tell you what I think of it. And now we are going to Shame Me, because I have been buying so many books in the last 2 months. It's kind of ridiculous. I am not really proud of myself. I am kind of upset. But I did buy some more. I have this package. I bought secondhand books. This girl was like doing a really good deal for all of these books, and it's just, I could not resist. So I thought, as a little treat to all of you and to me, because I haven't opened this. My mom received it for me when I was on vacation, so I haven't opened it yet. And I thought that I would open up with you so we can all see what they are. I'm so ashamed. Okay, I'm just going to go open this and I'll show you the books on here. Oh my god, she's so nice. She put, "Hey, I hope you enjoy the books." Oh, that's so kind. Okay, let's check it out, shall we? So, oh my god. Why did I do this to myself? Oh my god. Okay, so the book that I got, one of them, was Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. I have been looking for this book for a long time, like an accessible version of this book, and look at this. This is massive. How many pages is this? This is over 600 pages. Oh my god, but it's so pretty. It's so cute. All right, I know this is about like a group of girls in, I feel like a boarding school maybe, and they like solve crimes, and it's sapphic maybe. Is this it? This is so heavy. Oh my god, this is really, really heavy. And it has illustrations in it. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, that is so nice. Okay, so that's the first book that I got, which is unbelievable. And then I got, why did I do this to myself? I didn't even know if I wanted to read these books. And then I just saw it and I could not resist because they were at a really good price. I bought the Truly Devious trilogy. I know it has a 4th book now, I think. But the first one is paperback, but then the second 2 are hardback. And I really want to do a video where I just read this entire trilogy and tell you what I think of it. So here we go. We have Truly Devious, which is in amazing condition, which is really great. Then we have The Vanishing Stair, which is much less heavy and honestly just overall in a better size than Plain Bad Herons. And then we have The Hand on the Wall. So, okay, these are the 4 books that I got, oh my god, in the same package. And I really want to film a video where I read the trilogy. So you gotta tell me what you think of that idea. And what do you think of the books? Like, have you read any of these books yet? Because that is something to think about. Alright, and to finish off this video, I'm going to do a separate video with my TBR for September and my TBR for this trip, but I'm actually going to New York City, which is, I think, my most exciting trip ever. It's the reason that I worked also these last 4 months so that I could afford my stay there. I'm going with my boyfriend and his parents. It's like an end of like master's trip for him, but I also like tagged along because it's been my dream to go to New York City, and it's going to be so exciting. I'm leaving in less than a week. I'm leaving in the beginning of September, so hopefully this video will go up before then, and I'm just so happy about it. And I don't know what books to bring because I don't want to bring too many, because I think that I'm going to bring back some books because I'm definitely going to visit bookstores. I think I'm going to visit some booktube besties, which is really exciting. And it's just going to be amazing. I'm really nervous, but I'm also really, really excited about it. And I just hope that I have a good trip. And I have to figure out what books I'm taking with me. So that's something to do. Overall, just to finish out, my reading goal for the rest of the year is read the books on my list of the 12 books to read. And also to just read my fucking physical TBR because I keep adding books to it. And I have just not been reading enough of it. So I honestly canceled my SCRIBD for a little bit. I haven't been reading a lot on my Kindle because I just want to get to my physical TBR the most at the moment. So that's what I'm trying to do. We'll see. That's my goal for the rest of the year. I'm going to do like a checkout, not a checkout, a check-in video at the end of the year to see if I've made progress on that goal, which is to read my physical TBR. And also, if you notice, I haven't even filmed like a mid-year book freakout tab because I have absolutely almost nothing to talk about. Like I kept waiting to read more to do that video, and now I feel like it's way too late because it's not the middle of the year anymore. Like it's almost August. No, it's almost September. Oh my god. I'm a mess. But hey, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you're excited about the rest of the year with me, hopefully making my reading year better, making some better videos and more consistently uploading them. And also I'm going to be vlogging my trip to New York City, which is so exciting. I never thought that I would say that, and I hope that you just enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.